And I'll just go to share screen. Okay, welcome everyone to the first, you should be able to see my screen now, the first Swarm Proposal monthly planning meeting, or our monthly stand-up project meeting, whatever we're going to call it. Today is Thursday, the 20th of June. As this is the first one, it's not going to be, usually we would just run through the board, having a working update. But as this is the first one, I'm going to give an introduction to what we're doing here so people could understand where we're starting from. And also where we're starting from is a baseline, so it won't necessarily stay like this. We will change to change, may tweak this to adapt to how best we may want to work. I'll just sort of zoom in a bit there on a second. Can't get that. Anyway, okay, so what you're seeing here is a task issue for this meeting. This is an example of a task issue, and this task is intended to complete the final planning for each Intersect town hall. And this should comprise in the future a review of open tasks and decisions, a project step follow, and that will be followed by a project stand-up where each project manager member, sorry, would provide updates on their tasks, and then maybe a brief any other business. And then the review tasks and project board are recorded, and then that after the stand up, that would, the recording would stop and we have a more informal discussion or working discussion. Beneath here, I've just done a brief graphic here, which is well, can't see them out there, which gives an idea of where we're standing at the moment on a basic workflow. So in the first month of June, we did a session one, or that was Thibaut who did that, mostly the retrospective, or what we're going to call it. In week two, it ended up being mostly about a problem board assessment. Week three is where we are now, which is a proposal stand-up. And next week is the big one where we aim to deliver the town hall. Okay, I'll just quickly run through how this is going to, well, in the first iteration, how it's intended to work. This is the project board. It's based on a GitHub project board. The top level are kind of core project tasks, and the core project tasks are taken from top level headings in the budget. The original budget that we drafted for the proposal, as you can see here, it's a derivation of this, and also it references the proposal. So, but we won't start there. What we start with is actions under this tab here. So this tab here takes us to actions. And actions are generated whenever any of us in the project team actually, and we need to work out how we do this, wants to do something that is associated with the project. So the first, and I say this here because some of these to-do actions here have been generated from our previous work group, one of our previous work group sessions, or maybe generated from previous work group sessions, like, for example, the last session that we had on the problem board. And we need to figure out a way where, I won't go into too much detail now, but we need to figure out a way how actions are generated between ourselves, and how they're generated from work group sessions, Then there's very standard action items which are associated with top level tasks. So, for example, Intersect Town Hall facilitation. And what we would do here, we would go for each one of these, and we would have some detail here about how we're doing this and who is doing it as well, who's been assigned to do it at this level. And so here it's like town hall facilitation. I'll quickly run through it. Town hall summaries and tracking. And then it goes on to after town hall action items. So I think you mentioned this here, Thibaut. I kind of did a snapshot here of some discussions here. Again, we won't go into detail in the recording, maybe discuss it later. This is about the after town hall breakout room sign up and publicity. The slide template design is an action item that still needs to be done. It isn't assigned to anyone. And then we have uh, support and co-facilitation. I'm not quite clear what that covers. It may be like who's going to be attending, who's going to be the official facilitator at an after town hall, that kind of thing. Then after town hall incentives, again, we need to decide between ourselves what that means and how it's distributed. Then, well, upload recordings is self-explanatory, but still it's a task, it's an action that someone needs to do, it's paid for and budgeted for. And the same for timestamping as well. Then we have action items that I've recorded. I tried to capture people what people have done so far. So there's some credit there and some tracking. So for example, I've got a task for you, Thibaut, for tracking the progress that you've made on Discord channel setup, so that is a record of the activity that you've done, and I've done some on Gitbook access, and that will have related to setting up the Gitbook and stuff like that. And then you've got tasks here which are done. So we have the pre-planning meetings done, and the basic prior slide presentation that we did at the last town hall is done. So that, and again, we need to decide when an action is closed, how it moves on. I'll quickly go. So that's what we would start a meeting. It'd be hopefully quicker than that. We go through the actions, review what needs to be done. Then we go to, again, this can be up for debate how we do this. It's not necessarily how to do that. Then we go to core project tasks, and this is top level tasks. And here we have, at the moment, things that have no, as far as I know, they've had no work on them at all. So they're to do. There's nothing been done on them, but they're major budget level tasks. So publicity, the 2025 proposal, the quarterly participation reports. There's been no work on that, but we need to do those. The top level tasks which we have started work on are the Intersect Town Hall playbook. The Gitbook's been set up. There's work starting on that. This one, outreach and engagement, and maybe we can discuss this one in more detail in our work after the recording's off. Vanny, you have some ideas that we need to change the how this is communicated, what we're doing here. So yeah, so I won't go into detail here, but this
can
is
do that
basically
after.
this is basically we need to work out what this means. Then there's the meetings that we've had so far. In order, that was the first one was TiVo's facilitation. So this is actually would have been assigned to you, TiVo, and is budgeted to you. And obviously this is like the first iteration, so I need to document that better here. There should be the documentation should be here for that, which isn't present. I need to add that. And then there was a session which is documented. And actually, thank you, Thibaut, for that. I took your structure and converted it into this format, which captures all the action issues here and actually links to problem boards as well, which we now, so we have discussion points on the problem board linked here. Again, we need to figure out how to be consistent about doing this, but we can't do everything all at once. But this is a good example of a well-documented meeting where all the actions are captured and all the problems are captured as well. So if we can keep up doing that, then I think that'd be a good progress. Then there is the documentation of this meeting, which will be this recording essentially. And that's it, really. It will just be this recording, actually, because that's all that we need to do, because it's just going to be, you just can go and see what's happening. The next top level one is the town hall. And these are the town. So this is the budget tracking for the town hall. And under each of this is all the actions that need to be done according to the proposal in order to deliver what we said we were going to deliver for the town hall. And that includes facilitation, summaries and tracking, and slide template design. It may be other stuff I've included there. That's what it is at the moment. Then there's after town hall, and we have more tasks here, which are in our subtasks because they're in action items. So what we have to do for the after town hall is the breakout room sign up and publicity, support and co-facilitation, work out how we're doing incentives, uploading recordings, and timestamping. And then finally, there is I think that's supposed to be, that's not a top level task. I think that's in the wrong place. That's a decision. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, that shouldn't be there. I know because I haven't filtered it out. I should mention that the top level tabs here, the view, are core project tasks, team capacity. So this is a list of who is being assigned what. You can see who's worked on what, which hopefully could be useful in terms of working out who's done what or who's responsible for what. The milestones are per budget, are basically the way to see what activities are charged to what budget period. So obviously for June, the June milestone is going to be things that are budgeted that we're supposed to budget for June. And then we're going to extend that out until, well, either December or January. We need to clarify that. Then, as I said before, actions, that budget is superfluous. Then I have this a section for decisions, which actually rose from the last meeting. So we can record decisions if we wish, whether we want to or not, that's up to us. Okay, well, thank you for everyone for watching this brief overview. In future, it will be much more interactive. You won't be just listening to me give a lecture, but we will go through in much more detail. But for the time being, thank you for your patience and look out for our next town hall. Thank you.